everybody, it's Chris from Guilty Words, where we unravel crime one word at a time. Wendi Adelson had a nickname for Dan, Jibbers, that Donna also adopted. And in the various trials, she says it was a nickname she gave him in order to make him less scary. I admit I didn't believe her at all, but I wanted to be more objective and really look at the word itself and see, was it a coping mechanism or was it mocking? So let's take a look at it together. The meaning of the word gibber has stayed fairly consistent in its evolution. In the 1400s, we see it meaning to talk rapidly, from the Middle English jabberon. Gibberish comes around in 1500s, again meaning nonsense. This time it's the noun version. Jibber jabber, again to talk gibberish. And then gibber itself, idle chatter. So whichever meaning, throughout time it's always meant something to do with talk that means nothing. What I want to talk to you about is not just the dictionary definition, the denotation, but the connotation, the kind of feeling that this word brings, just like the difference between, say, house and home. They may more or less mean the same thing, but you get a different feeling with them. And the feeling I get when someone is called Jibbers is very negative. So Jibbers as a word is not insulting by itself. It depends on the context in which it's used. With certain additional context, it can be an insult. It can be a way to control the narrative about a person. In a way, it reduces serious arguments, like legal arguments, to noise. It's almost a linguistic way to invalidate Dan Markel. Now, you've probably heard in your true crime studies that, calling someone a name is a way of dehumanizing them instead of using their actual name. So it does that as well. But Jibbers is specific to language. To say that he is Jibbers means that whatever he's saying is nonsense and unimportant and shouldn't be listened to. So it both dehumanizes the man and reduces the arguments. Now, when asked about this in court, Wendi Adelson said that Jibbers was a silly nickname. A friend helped me come up with it to make him, Dan Markel, feel less scary. And that's actually a valid reason to come up with a name for someone. Let's talk about that for a minute. So using nicknames can be a coping technique. Wendy's right. Humor to shrink fear is an effective way to help deal with the anxiety. There is a technique called cognitive reframing, which doesn't necessarily use nicknames, but is a way of minimizing negative self-talk by reframing it in a positive way. For example, I'm a terrible person and I've ruined everything, could become, I've made mistakes like everybody else, and what can I learn from this? When it comes to nicknames, sometimes people will name a tumor. Sometimes children will come up with a nickname for a scary principal or a scary teacher. It's a way of trying to lessen the fear by changing the language. As a defense mechanism, it's usually private and self-soothing, especially this is more along the lines of the nickname. Maybe when someone is yelling at you, you privately think of them as, yep, there's the clown in the pink tutu, or whatever it is, just to help lessen your fear, but you usually won't say it to the person. Let's see what Wendi did with Jibbers. One of the issues with Wendy's explanation that this was a coping mechanism is that she also called Dan several other names. We heard in Donna's trial that she called him a monster, an STD, one wrong mistake marrying him and this will never go away, an emotional terrorist, a dark lord. So usually if you're fearful of something and you're using this reframing or a nickname to try and lessen the fear, you don't pile on other very derogatory nicknames on top of it. When you do that, it implies that the Jibbers is another one of these in this list. So coping or contempt? Well, if it's legit coping, it would reduce her fear, and only Wendi can say if it did or not. It's often private, And this seems like it was a little bit more public because her mother knew about it, her friends helped her make it up. It was his name in her phone. And it's lighthearted. And this, in the whole context of the nasty divorce and the filings back and forth, nothing feels particularly lighthearted. The public mocking tone, again, it seems like many people did know it, and it was a common thing for her to call him, maybe even more common than his name. And I've also heard that he himself knew that she called him that. A repeated pattern, it's not a once in a while thing in a particular situation to reduce the fear at that moment. It's a consistent name. And if it's paired with insults like STD, monster, dark lord. So I would say it's leaning towards contempt. In Donna Adelson's trial, Prosecutor Georgia Cappleman suggested that the term was a reference to Jew in boots. And that was the first time we'd heard that. So I did some research and I can't find anything about the term Jew in boots, and certainly no connection to gibberish. So I'm not sure where that came from. Georgia must have been speaking with someone or have information we're not aware about. If you know anything, please put it in the comments below. So after looking at all of it, I would say Wendi was insulting him. It wasn't cognitive reframing. Certainly Donna was, in order to imply that everything he was saying was nonsense and that they knew better. Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. And thank you for taking the time today to watch this quick video and just some quick thoughts on language. I appreciate my fellow true crime word nerds very much. And until I see you in the next video, please use your words wisely and well. Take care.